California's wildfire prevention efforts while criticizing the federal government for not doing enough to help protect the state. Back home, the International Conference of the Society of Electrical, Electronics, and Energy Engineers in Israel will take place in Eilat this week. For the first time, a panel will take place during the gathering on advancing women in the energy sphere. We heard more about the upcoming event from Hadass Mrzel, founder of ENGIS Ltd, about the event.
This conference is running every year for almost 20 years. It's taking place in Eilat, and it is a long 3 days where all electrical engineers and many electronic engineers are coming to hear more ideas, the news about their sectors, to see more new equipment, new people. And it is running between 2 or 3 hotels with many, many sessions and lectures at the same time.
And you yourself will be moderating or chairing a panel discussion on women in this sphere, in this sector?
Yes, I will do that. And it's funny, I'm also going to speak about predictive maintenance in high voltage assets. This is one of the areas of ENGIS that we deal with. So I established ENGIS in 2008, and the traditional activity that we knew to do is to take care about high voltage assets, to provide the tools and diagnosis and equipment for power stations and substations. And now what we do in our company is we show the new perspective of the transformation that we are going to see in the energy era. This is a very nice example how you can see that women are looking different about macro issues such as energy. Because in ENGIS we want to prove to the world how everyone can generate his own energy for his own use and not only rely on others to provide energy for himself.
So looking around when you go to these gatherings, how would you say is the representation of women in this sphere?
Well, it's awful. It's less than 5%. Yes. And 5% women, and all the other is 95% men.
Now, you yourself, so would you say that you were a pioneer when you founded your company?
Well, no, I'm not a pioneer. There was another woman that was also the light for myself. She passed away already, unfortunately. Her name is Sylvia Mandelbaum. And she was an electrical engineer who knew how to plan very large entities, how to do electrical planning for it. And I was looking at her. She was the one who told me about people in the market and how I can rely on myself. But I still think that we have to see many, many more women in the energy market.
Now, when you say the energy market, are you defining it separately from encouraging women to become involved and engaged in the sciences and computers and tech? Because it seems that there's been a shift, certainly even from the point of education, to encourage young girls in their studies to enter sciences.
Exactly. And what we are going to do in this panel during the conference is, first of all, to draw what is the positive perspectives of involving women in the energy market and how we can bring them into this market. So you are right, it must start in the education plan. Because if I remember myself, I was becoming an engineer when I was 4 years old. That was when my father taught me about mathematics. So I could lean on myself to know that I can understand about mathematics anyway, and I'm equal to men. We need to take care that young ladies, young women can rely on their abilities, and they are wanted and needed in the energy sector. So we hope that during this conference we will try to understand which ministries in the government could help us to bring this interest into women.
And what is the path one might take in terms of studies and academics to ultimately get to the energy sector? Is it studying engineering? What's the direction?
Okay. Well, mathematics is very good, and electrical engineering and physics, and even biology. Now we have biomass where we can provide energy out of it. So biology could be good, and you can even economics. Anything which is related to engineering could be interesting also for the energy sector, because energy touches everything. It touches agriculture, transportation, economics. It's an infrastructure who is related to anything in life. So.
And when you speak about energy, certainly there is discussion of many kinds of energy now, renewable energy, solar energy.
Exactly. So it could be even thermal engineering or environmental engineering, and as I said, biologics and physics. All of those things could be even, those women could even create technologies that could be then implemented in the energy sector, because, tomorrow maybe we can make energy out of green leaves. We can never know. These ideas can come, of course, from the academic, and of course also from women.
In encouraging more women to get into the sector, do you feel that women bring something additional into it, or it's a matter of they should be there in the room as well?
No, that women bring something different. Their perspective is different, and their approach is different. I think that what women can bring wherever they are is to look at one problem in many aspects, and to make a solution that involves many aspects, exactly like we do in ENGIS. Our understanding about energy in the macro way is that everyone could be a microgrid, and anyone should generate his own electricity and use it, and be involved in the grid where he can contribute energy and take energy from others. For example, this is the perspective that I was leading in ENGIS, and now I'm trying to lead it in the whole energy sector here in Israel and maybe also worldwide. But this is something that nobody else told before, that energy is also social. It's also a matter of community. It should be more economic. And when I say that you will share electricity, you have around it big data, analytics, many mathematical understanding that will bring, many technologies in one approach that is more macro. So this is a good example how female is looking differently about any matter in the world.
Hadas Mrzel, founder and CEO of ENGIS. For the weather and return headlines, Galia Tali, Masha Tohevet. What you love.